and welcome to the show dedicated to Michigan High School lacrosse. Face Off. My name is Lorne Plant. Sean Baligian and the coach, Greg Durham, will be along shortly. They will be chatting with one of the coaching Hall of Famers, Clarkston boys lacrosse head coach Brian Kaminskas. And you know, it's been a good week when a Michigan high school highlight on state champs makes the Sports Center top 10. You'll see that play shortly. But first, State Champs Face-Off is presented by Lawrence Technological University. Several world-class undergraduate programs and over 24 NAIA Division II level varsity sports, including men's and women's lacrosse. I want to say congratulations to the LTU women's lacrosse team who advanced to the national championship game, although they did not win. An incredible season. The second time in 5 years they were the national runners-up. 5 All-Americans on this year's team. You can recruit yourself by visiting LTUathletics.com. Time now for this week's highlights. Let's begin in the mid-Michigan area. Flint Powers at home to take on Saginaw Heritage. Heritage gunning for a third straight victory, even the game at 5. Chargers had the winning formula in the end. Charlie Fritz and Max Philpotts both netted hat tricks. Flint Powers snatches a 9-7 victory. How about an East versus West matchup from Friday night as the defending D2 state champs East Grand Rapids took on Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Pioneers, winners of 8 of their last 9, led 7-0 as we headed into halftime. Aaron Sauter for EGR poured in 3 himself. Eaglets fall by a 12-2 final. Now to one of the top games in the state over the weekend is Hartland at home to battle Detroit Country Day. It was a state title game atmosphere, both teams exchanging goals in a flurry. Hartland started the second half on fire, led by the Michigan commit Bo Lockwood, the defending Mr. Lacrosse with the beauty of a behind-the-back goal that ended up number 5 on the Sports Center top 10. Country Day trailed 17-11 in the final stanza, fought all the way back to get the game down to a single goal, but the Eagles hung on, 17-16 the final score. And finally to the girls, the defending D2 champs East Grand Rapids on the road to meet Forest Hills Northern Eastern. Pioneers netting a pair of goals from Lizzie Lundeen and Lucy Kavanaugh led 8-5 at the break. Forest Hills NE is one of the top teams in Division I, outscored EGR 6-1 in the second half. Elena Davis had a game-high 8 tallies. Forest Hills Northern Eastern beats East Grand Rapids 11-9. That win clinches a share of the OK Rainbow Tier 1 Conference, first conference crown in program history. Congratulations, ladies. You know, the professionals with the Detroit Medical Center's physical therapy and sports medicine team want you to know that if you are injured or in pain, the best treatment you can get anywhere is with a DMC professional. For an immediate appointment, log on to dmc.org/gamechangers. Do you incorporate rotational exercises into your training? You should. Here's more in this week's Game Changers.
Hi, I'm Laura Ramos with DMC Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. And today on Game Changers, we're going to show you the 3 rotational zones of the human body and how to train them. Studies have shown that doing rotational exercises improve core stability, muscle development, and overall body coordination. And this is super important in sport because sport is really rotational. Most of our training, however, that we do is single plane, sagittal, just moving backward and forward. I'm here with Sam from Birmingham Seaholm High School, and we're going to demonstrate the high to low chop. This is a great rotational exercise. Start out with your feet shoulder width apart. Make sure your knees and hips are straight and your shoulders are locked to your back. Grab onto your resistance pulley and keep your elbows straight. Now, chop down, rotating through your ankles. It looks just like that. And he's going to repeat about 10 repetitions. After that, he'll rest and do a second and third set. Now, some of the common errors that we see is, first of all, the knee collapses in when he powers through, just like this. Make sure your knee stays straight. Another error is for your shoulder to come forward, and it looks like this. Make sure you keep that shoulder blade back. The last error we see are the elbows bending. So as he chops, he bends his elbow. Make sure you finish and work right through this chop using your ankles like Sam. Reverse sides on the cable to work the opposite chop. So start in this position and chop down. Perfect. Rotating through those ankles. Now, another common error that we see is as he chops down, he extends through his back. Good. Come back through. Make sure you're equal on both legs, keeping those shoulder blades solid and that core solid, and chop down. For more sports performance tips or to make an appointment with a DMC physical therapist or orthopedic specialist, visit dmc.org/gamechangers.
Do you have a sports injury, or are you just looking to take your game to the next level? Then go where the pros go. DMC Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. For immediate care, call 313-910-9328 or visit dmc.org/gamechangers. All right, it's time now to bring in the boys. Here's Sean Baligian and Greg Durham.
And thanks as always, Lorne Plant. Appreciate you greatly in everything you do. Welcome in. We've got a very, very special guest today. Coach Durham was telling me that this guy is the longest tenured lacrosse coach. Is that true, Coach Durham?
He's pretty old, man. I don't know. He's been around for a long time. No, Brian's been at Clarkson forever, and that's probably the longest that I know of. It's longer than Jim Carl for sure. I just can't think of anybody else that's been there longer, but it's got to be Ajay. I mean, longer than me, longer than Wilson. Wilson's right up there. But Brian is probably the longest reigning coach at one place for a long time.
And how long is it? Coach Kaminskis didn't even know how many years it was exactly. That was the funniest part of it. He was like 14, 15. No, it's 14. I told you I'm not keeping track, but we welcome him in now, the head coach at Clarkson, off to a fantastic start, I might add, on the season. Let's welcome in Coach Kaminskis. Coach, really appreciate you taking the time to join us here on Face Off. How are you?
Doing great. I appreciate you guys having me out. And just for a quick note, I actually went back into the math for a third time, and we're at 17 years this year. So, yeah, it's been a spell.
I knew it was long. You didn't want to push the 20.
I mean, all I'm doing is telling you how old I am, really. But yeah, it's been a while.
Coach, let's talk about your team. What's going right for you guys? Obviously, you're off to a darn good start. What's going right for you guys this season?
You know what? A lot of things, but it's player driven. We have a shorter bench this year. Again, we got the COVID bite a little bit last year, lost a few guys. Short bench, so we really made sure. Although we have a full schedule, we tailored back our practices and we made sure we brought in yoga and a lot of different things off field to keep healthy, and it's paying off. I mean, we've only played 3 games with a full roster, but the guys are getting deep and they're playing and they show up. I mean, these guys show up every day, with a mission. It's an unstated mission. It's just about going out and being better than you were the day before. And they're terrific at it.
Hey, if you want to hear more of the conversation, make sure that you head on over to Spreaker.com and just search State Champs Face Off. Coach, let's take a look at the rankings. This is something that you do each and every week, and doesn't look like there are many changes on either side. What do you got for us?
Forest Hill Central still playing really well. Hartland looks really good. Hartland beat Country Day. I saw Bo Lockwood scores a few goals in that game, just continuously dominating the game. He's just a fantastic player heading to Michigan. Clarkston, I put at 6 because they're undefeated. They haven't been beaten. Yeah. And the teams below them, I just don't think are as good as Clarkston. So East Grand Rapids is a good team. They rolled us on Friday. They're just very well coached. They play defensively differently this year. They're not running a zone. They're good. They're a solid team. Granville, I haven't played them. I've seen them on film. They're a solid team. They're right there. The reason I put them behind East Grand Rapids, they lost to them by 1. For the girls, EGR. Here's what's funny. I watched the girls play against Brighton on Friday right before our game. Man, some of those girls they're just awesome. Like I was like, just the shooting, like they shoot as hard as guys now, and they're just so talented. I watched a few things. It's just very physical game. Forest Hills Northeastern, they're second now. DCD's third, and then Rockford. Midland moved up. Midland hasn't even been in the girls' top 10, and I don't know why. They beat Marion 24-10, and I was like, wow. And then I looked at they don't have a really tough schedule just because I think they play more in their league. But then when they play Marion, and Marion's a really good team, and they crushed them. And it's like, man, that's a shocker. So I'm going to put them up there at 5th right now. Brighton 6th. Obviously, I saw Brighton play against EGR. Forest Hill Central 7th. Grand Rapids Catholic Central 8th. Hartland girls program is good too. And number 10 rounds out Cranbrook, who's having a solid season as well. Just good. I think all those girls teams right there, they're like the blue, the old blue bloods right there. So the couple of teams that, like I said, Midland and Grand Rapids Catholic Central are kind of new to it, but I think they're just getting better and better.
Thank you for checking us out each and every week. For Coach Durham, I'm Sean Baligian saying we'll talk to you next week right here on Face Off.
State Champs Face-Off is presented by Lawrence Technological University. LTU offers over 24 varsity sports for men and women, along with several dozen world-class undergraduate programs. Athletic and academic scholarships are available in all sports. Visit ltuathletics.com and recruit yourself. Face-Off is also brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Detroit Medical Center Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine Pros. Do you have a sports injury, or are you just looking to take your game to the next level? Go where the pros go. Visit dmc.org/gamechangers. Detroit Athletic Club Foundation's Male and Female Athlete of the Year Awards. Stay tuned for the announcement of this year's 12 nominees coming soon. Who will be this year's Male and Female Athletes of the Year? Find out live Monday, June 6th, only on the State Champs Michigan Network. U.S. Navy recruiting, call 313-315-2560 and talk to a local officer to find out how the Navy can take you anywhere from the sea to the stars. Oakland School's technical campuses are designed for any student who wants to graduate high school with industry certifications, on-the-job experiences, business connections, and college credits. Check them out at ostconline.com.